Morning then guys, and welcome to another mess with my van. As you probably know, if you've been watching the channel, we've got the DVLA to change it from a panel van to a motor caravan. And in order to that, there's a few bits what you've got to do. You've got to put stickers up the side of the van. As you can see, we've got the stickers up the side of the van. You have to have an awning, an extended awning. Obviously it's got like a camper van inside, it's got X amount of windows, blah blah blah. As you can see, we've got it all done. Anyway, we sent the logbook off and it came back as a motor caravan. Now the reason that we've actually done this, because we want to uprate the suspension on the van to carry more than the normal weight of 3.5 tonne. So it's a 3.5 tonne van and we wanted to do more. So we've got in touch with a company. I'll put that company up on the in front of us now, because I just can't remember off the top of my head. And they told me that we could have it uprated to 3.9 tonne without any modifications, apart from the modifications which the DVLA asked for, i.e. stickers, windows, awning, that type of stuff. But they also said if we were to put air suspension on it, then the van would be allowed to go up to 4.5 tonne. So that's what I'm doing. So I've just took the wheel off here. I've just jacked the van up. We've took the wheel off. Now this airbag suspension kit fits in this part here. So we take this rubber bump stop off, and the air suspension kit then bolts onto. You take these bolts off the leaf spring. I think you remove this plate, and you replace it with another plate with the airbags attached to it. So that's what I'm going to be doing. These are well, they look like worn, obviously. I mean, the van ain't done that much work, to be fair. And to get them off, all we've needed is a chisel, and there's cutouts on this plate. So I'm just tapping it around with a chisel and with a rubber mallet, to be honest with you. So as you can see, the camera's in my way for doing this, so I'm going to move it over here. So I've just got a chisel, and you can see that's spinning round, that's coming off. Just got to make sure that we don't hit no brake pipes or anything, because that would be a bit of a disaster. So guys, I'm carry on knocking that off. You don't want to be seeing 20 minutes of me spinning this bung stop off. Once I've got it off, I'll get a shot back. Catch you in a bit. Okay then guys, and this is where it all went wrong. The plate I was knocking round had got a nut welded to it, and it actually broke the weld off. Just a really tight fit. So then it was time to get the brother up here to get some welding done, weld the nut back on so we could carry on knocking it off. Bit of a pain, to be honest with you, but you know, it had to be done, and that's it. Got it done. Took us a bit of time to get it done, but eventually we got it off. Spraying more lubrication onto it to free the thread off. Oh, there's only got another one after this. There's only 2 airbags. Yeah, man, put them on the back. They have to drop off now.
Quite a lot of thread in that, I understand.
That should be hot, that'll call.
That's right.
it'll be off in a few seconds, I'm thinking. Unless someone else is just spinning. Oh, there we go. But that'll be hot. Bring you back in a minute, bro. Okay then guys, so that was the problem. This is still hot here, so we ain't going to do too much messing with it. But this pin started rotating rather than unscrewing. There's a thread on the other side, as you can see there. And that broke off. So I've just had my brother come up.
Put some pin shit on him.
And he's done a bit of welding on there. Look, to weld the pin back to this plate so we could spin it off. Now unfortunately, on the other side of the van, it ain't come off there. The nut that it screws into, I hope I'm making sense here, but the nut that it screws into is inside of the chassis, and on the other side the nut on the chassis has come undone rather than what it's done on this side. So that's going to be a different ball game altogether, that is, the other side. But they've got to come off, and that's the end of it, one way or another. I'm touching it with this chisel because this is still all red hot from his welding. That's absolutely red hot, that is. Don't want to be touching that. Anyway guys, I'm going to leave it at that. So now, obviously this side we can stick our wheel back on for now. The airbag has got to go in this part here, but we're going to get the other side off because my brother's on here for an hour or so, and once we've got the other side off, then I can fit the airbags. I'm okay for doing the rest myself afterwards, to be fair, but he's got the welding gear, so that's it. Well then guys, I'm going to switch you off here, turn you back on a bit. Okay then guys, so this is our next problem. Well, not a problem, it's a rush, but this is what happened. This is still hot, this is why I'm holding it with this. But we welded the pin in so that we could undo it, and it's actually snapped. Now it's actually snapped the bolt. As we've turned this, the other side of this part, which is still in the chassis, I don't know if this will show you, to be honest, if I can get the angle on here. But the other end of that bolt on a nut is still stuck right there, just where the end of this saw thing is touching. So now we've got to get from out of there. That's why we're going to have to be drilled out or something like that. So this has turned out to be a right pain in the butt, to be honest with you guys. But there you go. Crap happens and we've got to sort it out. Right, we'll get back and touch with you in a bit. I'm glad that we got an awning on this side of the van. It has been raining, so it has kept us dry whilst messing. But there you go. So once we've got that pin out and the nut, then obviously we can stick our airbags in here, which I'll be doing today, to be fair. It'll be another job for tomorrow probably, providing we can get this rest of this stud out today. Anyway, I'll catch you in a bit. Okay then guys, so we've got this top plate off here now. Took a bit of doing, welding and all the rest of it, and now what we've got to do is get these two clamps off, that one and that one, 22mm socket to get them off, bolt nuts them underneath. Always remember to turn it the right way when you're getting them off, because otherwise I'm just tightening it up and then liable to snapping them off or something. The thing that's concerning me a little bit is this handbrake cable, but the handbrake is fully on, so it's as tight as it's going to go. And then what we've got is the airbag, and this part of the airbag fits underneath these U-bolts You see that one's pretty loose. I've already been messing with them. They're near enough off, to be honest with you. But takes some getting off, guys. I'm telling you. I mean, I think we've saved. But by the time I finished it, I think we've saved about £1,000 from me doing it to somebody else doing it. So it is a good saving. But at the end of the day, if you're mechanically minded and stuff and you ain't got the tools, I would just pay the extra money and have somebody do it. We was quoted £1,500 to do it, and the, well, just under 15, it was £1,450 I think they quoted me. And the parts, get them off eBay or off one of the other sites, costs 430 quid. And it's a good kit, you know, everything's in the kit and all the rest of it. But unless you're able-bodied, I mean, realistically, this needs to be done over a pit or on some lifts, because you're working, always working, with all this in front of you, you know, and it's just in the way. Obviously, of course, it takes it all apart. But anyway, I'm going to crack on. I'm going to get this these bolts off altogether. I'll just switch you back on when I've got them off altogether. Catch you in a minute, guys. Okay then, guys, you can see there's all 4 nuts. Like I said, they're 22mm. So now these can just pull off. Just drop them down on the floor. Pull off. Drop it down on the floor. Then this piece comes off. There you go. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to disassemble what I've done on this airbag. Then I'm going to just show you what this bracket does. But obviously this needs to be tightened up on the airbag before you do it, because otherwise you ain't going to get it on. So that fits back in there onto that, like so. Then your U-bolts goes over that, and then goes over that one. There you go. And then when we tighten that up, obviously, guys, it's just going to clamp it all down. I hope you said that. I don't know if I've got the camera on it. I want to be facing the camera. But these are the, like I said, the U-bolts. Well then, guys, so I'm going to put this on now and get on with it. And then the next time I switch you on, I'm going to have this airbag on, because I'm trying to do it on my own. And to be honest with you, it's going to take me all day if I've got to video it and fit it. So I'll catch you later. And guys, so as you can see, or perhaps you can't, I don't know. Let's hope you can. We've got that bracket on there. There's just one nut bolt on there. Now I've left that loose, even though now I'm going to stick the airbag on there. But the reason I've left it loose is because I've got to make sure I can line it up properly. And then what I will do is just get a spanner and put it up this gap. There'll be a gap there. Put it up there, and I'll be able to just tighten that up for the last bit. I have greased that as well, guys, because you know the hassle I've had getting the other one off. If any time it's got to come off for any reason, change the airbags or whatever, then I don't want to be going through that same hassle with grinders and everything. So, right, I'll crack on, put the next bit on. Catch you in a bit. Okay, guys, so that's all done, like I've shown you. I've wire brushed this up around here just to clean it all up. The bracket on the bottom of the unit is all nice and tightened up. That spins that way. So the way I'm going to do this now, I'm going to stick that inside of there. And guys, I ain't going to be able to show you this because I can't hold it and do it. But I'm going to, let's just see if I can. I'll now turn that round like so, and I'm going to drop that down into its holes. Oops. That's dropped into its holes like that. Then we'll get the next one. We'll put that into its hole. Let's just see if I can. This thing's got a magnet on it, isn't it? Let's see if it'll just. There you go. I don't know if that's showing you now. I'll just lift that up a little bit. And that's it, that's gone down into its hole as well. So all I've got to do now is tighten, put the nuts back on them and tighten them back up. Put the nuts back on them and tighten them back up, and then when I pull the little stopper off this, these will expand. That's holding the air out. So they will expand. I'll be able to whittle and stick the screws back into that. And move away. There you go then guys, all bolted back up. Just got to put the air pipes on the other side now. I need to get underneath the van to do that. That's it. I'll go and crack on to the other side now. I'm going to show you me doing the other side because it's exactly the same as this side, isn't it? So apart from being on the opposite side. Catch you in a bit. Okay then guys, so the wheels are all on, and this is what I'm doing now, just pulling the air lines up. Then what I've done, I've got it coming out of the door wheel. Hang on, let me just go back. So I've got coming up through the door wheel. That's a silicone sealing to all this round here. Now I've just got to channel these up behind the dashboard, then I can put it back, start putting it back together. Somewhere across here we have got the dials. There we go. I don't know if I've already showed you these, but I'm going to fit into the dashboard around there somewhere. That's all plumbed up ready, as you can see. So we just got some electric points on here, the wires here for doing that. All the fixtures are on there, just about putting it on there once I've fed this through the back of the dashboard. And then obviously we've got this one pipe here which goes to this one, which is the mains, and from that the switch then feeds over the left hand side or the right hand side of the airbags. And then obviously then I can get all the dashboards put back together, get all swept up. But this is just bare metal around there, so what I'm going to do with that, I've got some sticker flex. I'm going to sticker flex that in. Not only is it going to hold it in from moving, but it's going to stop any rust from forming around that. Well then guys, once I've well, realistically I'm going to get it finished now, I think, before I turn you back on, and we'll see how it all works. Catch you in a bit. Well then guys, so just a quick update. We've run the pipe work through behind the dashboard. I've put the dashboard back in. This is to the right hand pump. This is to the pump, right hand airbag. This is to the pump, and this is to the left hand airbag, or the offside airbag. Then obviously you've got your wire in here. You've already seen this once, I've already shown you this, so all that's got to do now is just plug onto these. Then I've just got to push this back into this recess. They provide a couple of little screws to put in there, and that's it, job's a good one. Just a couple of screws I've got to just stick in here before we do that. And then to be honest with you, the dashboard needs a right good cleaning now. I've made a right mess of it. But there you go. So we just get them guys. Next time I switch you on, I'll be pressing buttons to show you how it works. Catch you in a bit. Today we're going to be looking at fitting the little compressor for my air suspension. What can I say about that? Well, like everything else on this job, nothing seems to be going right. I'll just show you the little compressor. Let's just turn the lights on so we've got a bit of light in here. So this is the little compressor. I've got this little bit of space here. Now, I'm not hoping it's going to be a problem, but obviously when they sell you these kits, they sell you with the wires to reach various parts. And I'm just hoping that once I've put it there, that the wires do reach. Fits perfect in there. I can just put an hole through there to feed the pipe through, and that's it. Just bolt it down into there. That'll fit perfect. It's got clearance from the bed and everything like that. It's not going to be used very often, obviously. I mean, once you've blown the suspension up, unless you're going onto a ferry or something like that and just want to alter the heights, then obviously its job's a good one. It's just going to work. So then, guys, as you can see, I've put this little compressor there. Just drilled an hole through. All the wires reached. Actually, there's too much wire. It reached easy. So it's all done now. We've got the dashboard all put together and cleaned it all up. I'll just run you around there and just show you that. Just a second. So there we go. Just bring it down. That will loose the air out. Loose the air out to that one. They tell you not to go below the red if you're going to be driving it. Because obviously, you've collapsed the airbag down. And then I've been using it on 2 bar, and you can see how long it takes to get up to 2 bar. No time at all. Two bar on this one. And 2 bar is getting the van a load of clearance. Oh, look at that. Oh, yes. Loads of clearance there. So yeah, that's it. That's all done. As you can see, we treated it to a new carpet. Got it all nice and clean, ready for our offs. Now all we got to do now is wait for the DVLA to send us the logbook back with the new weights on it. Well, we'll have a quick chat about that. Okay then, guys, so this conversion, what we've done, we've obviously done the stuff for the DVLA, which you had to do first. Stickers, send photographs, send your logbook off. That comes back as has come back as a motor caravan. It could come back as a van with windows if you ain't met the criteria what they're specifying. But we've put a lot of effort into it to get it done. So we sent the logbook off because the SV Tech on the logbook, it has got to say camper van with van with windows or motor caravan. It's got to say one or the other on the logbook before they'll do their work with the paperwork to get the weights uploaded, converted. Yeah. So obviously we've done that. We've had the logbook come back. It took 2-3 weeks for the logbook to come back to say that it's a motor caravan. So then we send the photographs via email to SV Tech to show them inside the van, to show them it's obviously a camper van. You have to send them the tag plate, all the weights and stuff, and then they come back to you, telling you what they can actually do. So if I would have wanted the van 3.9 ton, I didn't have to do any work to the suspension. It's just a straightforward paperwork job. However, for the sake of me spending 500 quid, just over £400 on the suspension kit, on the airbag kit, it allowed me to get up to 4.5 ton, and I'm never ever going to be 4.5 ton. I doubt whether I'm ever going to be sort of 3 ton, to be honest with you. But you know, for the sake of that bit of money and a bit of work, even though it has been a nightmare, I thought let's do that. So I've done that. We've done the jobs. We've gone to SV Tech, proved to them photographs of the dashboard with little clocks in, all the rest of it, as much information as you can give them. Then it's cost me £350, I think it was, for them to do the paperwork. And when they finished it, they send you back a form. And on this form, it's telling me, or it's telling the DVLA, that we can do 4,500 kilo. The first axle, front axle, is 2,100, and the back axle, the weight can go up to 2,400. So they sent me this piece of paper with another form on it saying I can alter the taxation class, and that's going to make it into a PHGV. And what that actually does, it brings the tax, it sort of halves the amount of road tax you have to pay. Why it's doing this when you put more weight on the road, I don't know, but anyway, that's the thing you have to do. The other thing, what people don't tend to tell you, it's now an heavy goods vehicle. So it's a PH, and that's personal heavy goods vehicle. So now you can't just take it to a normal MOT station. You've got to take it to an MOT station that actually MOTs HGV vehicles. I mean, there's a few around our end, to be honest with you, but that's something you need to bear in mind when you're doing this, that you've got to take it to a different type of MOT. It's the same MOT, you know, they'll just check all the same stuff, brakes, lights, blah blah blah. It's just pure, the weight of the van is now capable of carrying 4.5 ton, so you've got to have it MOT'd as it has got 4.5 ton in it. Right. Now this is where the next lot of fun began, to be honest with you. So we've got the letters from SV Tech. They tell you to sign the piece of paper and send it to the DVLA to get it uprated for the class, for the weights. Obviously, the DVLA have already had all the photographs sent to them to get it registered as a motor caravan. So that ain't a problem. All we've got to do now is send this piece of paper and the taxation piece of paper and the logbook, so they can change that to 4.5 ton. Well, we did that. We sent it off. Now, luckily for me, I photographed everything. So before I put anything in an envelope, I photographed it. We sent the paperwork off to the DVLA, registered post, so it's got to have a sign. It's got to be signed for. So after 4 weeks, I'd heard nothing. So I says to Dawn, I'll get on the phone and get onto the DVLA. So I get onto the phone, gets onto the DVLA, tells them what we're having done. They puts me on to somebody else within the system. So I'm talking to them, and they said, well, you know, we ain't got no recognition of this paperwork. I thought, here we go. So I said to them, well, we've got it's had to be signed for, so I've had to give them the serial number, whatever it was, from the post office. So they had a look at this and goes, oh, yes, we can see that it's been signed for, but we can't find the paperwork. So now they said we're going to have to open up a case, what they call opening up a case, a complaints case. and then it's just been a nightmare, to be honest with you guys. I've been phoning them up every week for the last 3 weeks. Well, 3 weeks I've been phoning them up. And all of a sudden, remembering that they can't find any of my paperwork, I have this form come back through the post. And on this form I can actually see, I mean you only see it on the camera, but you can see where it's been stapled to something else. Well, obviously it's been stapled to the logbook and this taxation form. So they must have had it, because you know I never stapled it. They've stapled it, but then they've sent me this back because it's, you know, obviously it's my property. They don't keep these forms. They're sending me back with the logbook, supposedly. So I'll get something to him and tells them that I've had this piece of paper come back. Went from one person to another, to another, to another, to another. Eventually, now in the meantime as well, guys, I just forgot about this bit. They've sent me an email telling me that I need to pay to get a logbook. That's just another story. Anyway, to cut a long story short, because this is a long story, eventually they found the paperwork. They've sent it me all back. I forgot what date we're on now. I got my phone, which is, let's see what date we're on today. So I'm on the 24th of August. They're telling me that on the 20th of August they sent me my new logbook back and all the rest of it. I still ain't had it. So this is like 4 days. Now I'm on a bank holiday now. So then I'm not going to get nothing. Today's a Sunday anyway, so I ain't going to get nothing today. But I ain't going to get nothing tomorrow because it's bank holiday Monday. We'll have no post. So I'm looking forward to Tuesday and hopefully I'm going to get my logbook. But what this has meant, guys, because I've insured it now and told them it's 4.5 tonne. The DVLA knows it's 4.5 tonne. But if you look on the internet of my van, it's still registered as 3.5 tonne. And when I've spoken to them, they said to me not to use the van until I've got all the paperwork and everything sorted out properly. Because if I'm going down the road and have an accident, everything's saying something's wrong. They're going to say it's 3.5 tonne. I've told the insurance 4.5 tonne. The paperwork I've sent to them is 4.5 tonne. You know, where would I stand? I'm not sure. So for 8 weeks now, 2 months, the van has been here, doing nothing, waiting for paperwork to come back. I heard nobody else have this problems, to be fair, but as you've seen on the video, it's just been one problem after another. Bolts breaking off, bolts moving because they're welded up, or they haven't been welded up properly. So guys, what can I say? It's a brilliant thing to do. It's going to make I mean, when we went over a weighbridge, we was overweight. We was 200 kilos overweight. That's the reason I got all this on the go. So it's worth having it done. But in my case, I've had a little bit of a nightmare with the DVLA. I've had a little bit of problems getting bolts off and blah 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 with the suspension, as you've seen on the video. But there we go. Hopefully within the next week or so we will be back on the road, up and running with it. We have got things planned. We've got a Dolomite trip planned, and then we're going out on the 4th of October for a month, just photographing around the Dolomites. We have done that before, but I'm taking a friend with us this time in their camper van, following us around. So that's going to be a good video to catch up with. But again, you know, we've just got to wait now. So that's it. We're waiting for paperwork to come back, for our logbook to come back, so we can get it all sorted, and off we go. Guys, it's been brilliant. If you've stuck with me this long, I know it's been a long one, but there you go. Enjoy the video. Like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up, or give us a thumbs down, or talk a load of crap to us, whatever you want to do. It's all well and good. So I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers for now.